Hi, welcome back to Finite Element Analysis Module 2, Part B, One Dimensional Analysis of Bars. Topic 3, that is drive an expression for elemental stiffness matrix by using two methods. One is an energy method, another is a direct method. First, I will take an energy method, then I will go for a direct method. So, energy method, I will read the statement using a principle of minimum potential energy, stiffness matrix, formulation of bar element. Formulation means determining the formula expression. Okay, we are formulating to determine the stiffness of the bar element. First we need to consider a element. So consider a bar has a fixed at one end and subjected to a axial force F at the other end. Shown in the figure below here, the bar under axial loading condition fixed at one end, free end force with the other end. This is taken as a one dimensional bar element. So this is a bar element which we have considered, and then that has been considered as a one dimensional bar element having the two nodes, node number 1 and a node number 2, based on the position of fixed end and free end of the bar element with forced, and each node has a 1 degree of freedom. Shown in figure, each node has a 1 degrees of freedom with respect to the representation of a element along x-axis from left towards the right along x-axis. That displacement is representing as u1 and u2. u1 is at node number 1, u2 is representing at node number 2. Displacement is controlled along y and z axis. X axis is free to move in a bar element due to the application of a force at the node number 1, f1 and f2. So why we will take this in f1 and f2 means the f1 we are representing as a fe model is this one. We are assuming this a bar element is in terms of a fe model. Just we will assume when we will solve that problem, we will say this is f1 is equals to 0. But now to derive the characteristics of the bar element, we will not consider a fixed portion, we will not consider a free portion, we will not consider any kind of characteristics. Bar means just we will consider this is a bar. With respect to that, all nodes has same characteristics before bringing to the actual application, right? And f2 at node number 2, the bar has represented along the x-axis from left towards right. The direction of a force is applied in the same direction with respect to the x-axis is positive. This force is a positive. The direction of force which is applied opposite to the direction is negative. Direction is very much important. Now we got the idea. Bar has considered, and then that has converted in terms of a one dimensional model. To drive the equation, we'll use the energy method to find the stiffness matrix for a given bar element. We have solved the problems on a spring by using a principle of minimum potential energy method, and also we have used a Rayleigh-Ritz method in a module number 1. Same procedure will follow to drive the elemental stiffness matrix. The first step, there we have used the potential energy functional for a bar element pi is equals to sum of a strain energy plus work potential, given as a equation number 1. We'll find the strain energy and the work potential first separately. Strain energy of the bar element, we are well known from the definition of the strain energy of the bar is equals to AE by 2 into integration of 0 to n dou u by dou x whole square into dx. Given equation number A is the strain energy of the bar element. The potential energy functional, to find another bit is a work potential. That work potential Wp for a bar element is equals to minus of F1 U1 minus F2 U2. This depends upon the nodal characteristics of the element and the degree of freedom has chosen to solve the problem. So this one will get a clear idea. At node number 1, force has been applied F1. The work done has been takes place due to the application of a F1. So displacement is occurs at the node number 1 U1 due to the application of a force F1. That work potential is equals to minus of F1 into U1. Similarly, at node number 2 we have F2 into U2. The total potential energy functional, when we'll substitute this equation number A and B into the equation number 1, we get the total potential energy functional for bar element pi is equals to 1 by 2 AE into integration of 0 to L dou u by dou x whole square into dx. As a strain energy, we have substituted here the strain energy, and then work potential Wp, we will substitute this one. This will be equals to minus of F1 into U1 minus F2 into U2, giving the equation number 2. So this is a generalized equation for the bar element. So what are the unknowns are there, we need to identify, then we need to find out the required characteristics of the given bar element. That is, unknowns are dou u by dou x and u1 and u2. Don't bother about that stiffness matrix, how we will get. First we need to bring that equations in terms of a bar characteristics. So this is a generalized equation for the bar element. First we need to find out these unknowns, then this unknowns becomes in terms of a one of the equation by using a principle of minimum potential energy method. That equations, when we will convert in terms of a matrix, we will get the answer. To find these displacement functions, we will assume the polynomial displacement function for a bar element. The first order polynomial equation has chosen u is equals to a0 plus a1x, giving an equation number c. So that equation number c, when we will take there are two unknowns are there, another two unknowns. X means it is a length, we will say x is equals to 0, x is equals to L, we will get that equation. But unknowns are what? a0 and a1. To find this, we need to apply the boundary conditions. That is the reason we will say the assumed equation should be satisfies the boundary conditions. That following boundary conditions are based on the given problem. These are the two boundary conditions. At x is equals to 0, u is equals to u1. The node number 1, what we have, at x is equals to 0, u is equals to u1. At x is equals to L, at x is equals to L, u becomes u2. So the displacement at node number 2 and node number 1 is u1 and u2 we have taken. With respect to that boundary condition, what happens to this equation we need to get. So when we'll apply the boundary condition for this equation, this has been given as a two equations. That is, at x is equals to 0, u is equals to u1. Then this equation number c becomes u1 is equals to a0 plus a1 into 0. When we'll simplify this equation, this will becomes about this 0, a0 is equals to u1 for a boundary condition number 1 at node number 1. Similarly, we'll apply the boundary condition number 2 for equation c. What will happens to this equation, you can check out now. At x is equals to L, u becomes u2. Then equation c becomes u2 is equals to a0 plus a1L. Then rearrange this equation. We know that a2 is equals to a0 means u1 plus a1l. So we unknown is a1. Rearrange this equation. a1l is equals to u2 minus u1. Then a1 is equals to u2 minus u1 divided by l. So this equation what we have here, u2 minus u1 divided by l. Then we need to substitute these two equations in the equation number C as a a1 and a0. Then that equation becomes, when we will substitute that, so the u is equals to u1, a0 means u1 plus a1 means u2 minus u1 divided by l into x. Don't leave this x, into x. Then I'll say equation number D, dou u by dou x. So to find this dou u by dou x, if we'll differentiate equation number D, differentiate partially with respect to x, we get equation D, dou u by dou x is equals to 0 plus u2 minus u1 divided by l into 1. So this is the 1. So differentiation of 1, and the u1 is equals to 0, constant differentiation. Then so dou u by dou x is equals to u2 minus u1 whole divided by l into 1 has been taken. Now dou u by dou x we have found. Then what is the unknown we need to see here? What are the unknowns we have in this equation? The unknown first we have found this one. So then this will be remains all the values in terms of a u2 and u1. All the values, if I'll substitute this value in this equation number 2, we'll get this equation in terms of a u1 and u2. Let me check out. So we have found, and then I have substituted this value in this potential energy functional equation number 2. We'll get this equation. Here we have substituted that value dou u by dou x whole square into dx. Now I'll simplify this equation dou u by dou x. After substitution, we'll take this common here, this whole value, how we have representing l square I have taken here common, and then similarly I have taken u2 minus u1 whole square outside from the integration. Then this integration has been yields to integration of 0 to l into dx. This will remains as it is. Then I'll rearrange ae by 2l square, and this is a minus b whole square, which is equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab. So a square means u2, b square means u1. So I have rearranged already this equation, a square plus b square minus 2ab, u2 square plus u1 square minus 2u1 u2. Then integration of dx is equals to x, limits applies 0 to l. Then this will remains as it is. I have written here. Then pi is equals to ae by 2l. I have taken this same downwards, and this is also a same I have taken. When I'll apply this limits, here, upper limit first, l minus 0 is equals to l, this value, and then this remains same as it is. We have taken downwards here. Then rearrange this equation, l square and l will get cancelled here, ae by 2l into u1 square plus u2 square minus 2u1 u2 minus of f1 u1 minus of f2 u2. Equation number 3. We got this equation as per our given problem. Then what are the unknowns are there? Now we have a two unknown characteristics, that is u1 and u2. We need to minimize twice to find these two unknowns. If we have a one unknown, one time minimization, two unknowns, two time minimization, three unknowns, three time minimization, n unknowns, n times minimization, based on the principle of minimum potential energy method. So we have a two unknowns, that is a u1 and u2, minimizing twice with respect to a u1 and with respect to u2. So partially differentiating equation number 3 with respect to u1 and partially differentiating with respect to u2. The first condition we'll take to minimize the equation, that is dou pi by dou u1, differentiating equation number 3, which is equals to 0. Dou pi by dou u1 is equals to 0. Then differentiating equation number 3 becomes dou pi by dou u1 is equals to ae by 2l remains same. So differentiation of x square is equals to 2x. Differentiation of u1 whole square with respect to u1 to u1, differentiation of u2 square with respect to u1 is equals to 0. Differentiation of minus 2u1 u2 is equals to minus 2u2 into 1. So differentiation of minus f1 u1 is equals to minus f1 into 1. Differentiation of minus f2 u2 is equals to 0, minus 0. So then we know that the role of principle of minimum potential energy functional, that states that dou pi by dou x is equals to 0, dou pi by dou u1 is equals to 0. Then this value is equals to 0. This rearrange, same you copied ae by 2l. 0 is equals to ae by 2l into, I'll take 2 common here, this 2 and this 2, u1 minus u2 minus f1. 2 will get cancelled. Then this equation becomes ae by l u1 minus u2 minus f1. Then I'll rearrange this equation. I'll take this portion on a left hand side and this is remains in a right hand side. This minus is gone. So then ae by l into u1 minus u2 is equals to f1, call it as equation number a. Similarly differentiate equation number 3 with respect to u2. Now we get this equation, that is a differentiation of u1. Just I'll write that equation here to get the idea. ae by 2l into u1 square plus u2 square plus minus 2u1 u2 minus f1 u1 minus f2 u2. So differentiation of this equation, what we have with respect to u2, this will remain same. Differentiation of u1 is equals to 0 plus differentiation of u2 square with respect to u2 2u2 minus of this value minus 2u1 u2 differentiation with respect to u2 minus 2u1 into 1 minus 0, this one minus f2 into 1. So when I'll rearrange this equation, we'll have 2 will get cancelled here. Then ae by l into u2 minus u1 minus f2. Rearrange this value, I'll take here. Then I'll take f2 on the right hand side. ae by l u2 minus u1 on the left hand side is equals to f2 on a, give it as equation number b. Equation a, ae by l u1 minus u2 is equals to f1. So that is ae divided by l u1 minus u2 is equals to f1, call it as equation number a. Similarly equation number B, I have taken AE by L, minus U is there. First I will take minus U, plus U2 is there, plus U2 is equals to F2. I will call it as equation number B. Just I have rearranged the equation. After rearranging that equation, the equation A and B in matrix form. So in a matrix form, we'll get A E by L. I will take common. Each matrix has a common two values. So I will take as it is here, and then I'll take U1 and U2 common. Let it be in the next. U1 U2 common is equals to F1 F2. So these vectors. Now U1, what is the common value we have? Plus 1. U2 coefficient minus 1. So when we'll multiply this, we'll get again U1 minus U2. Correct? Similarly, equation number 2 we have minus U1, coefficient of U1 is a minus 1, plus U2, coefficient of equation plus 1. So this is the equation what we have got from this matrix, from this simultaneous equation. So AE divided by LE, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So U1 coefficient is a 1, U2 coefficient is minus 1, U1 coefficient is minus 1, U2 coefficient as 1. So U1 and U2 we have taken as a vector common outside here, and then similarly force vector we have done. So then in generally we know that the equilibrium equation K into Q is equals to F. K is nothing but this matrix from here, and Q matrix is this one, F matrix is this. So what we'll say for this KQ and F, K is in a stiffness matrix, Q is in a displacement vector, F is in a force vector. So K is equals to AE by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 is called a stiffness matrix, which we have proved and derived, formulated. Q is equals to U1 U2. Q is equals to what? U1 U2, or which is equals to Q1 Q2, or the displacement vector. Similarly, force F, which is equals to F1 F2, is the force vector for a given bar element. Thank you for listening my lecture.